Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts 2. This is episode number 5 in this series. Today we'll be accomplishing a lot. We'll be talking to Yen Sid and then traveling to Radiant Garden, which is a place we have not been in a long time. But of course here we are taking off after talking to the old Traverse Town folks. You know, we seem to have some connection to them because Roxas had a connection, but we're just chatting with them a little bit before we leave, getting ready to take on the big old wide world out there. And, yeah, I think that's going to be it for a little bit here. We do have a lot of exciting stuff going on in this episode, but to be honest, it's all, like, lore related. So there's going to be a lot of story stuff just sort of thrown at us here that I'm going to try to do my best to dissect as we move through it. But it's just a lot. It's a whole lot being thrown at you all at once. So here we go. With that being said, let's go and do our traditional open a soda pop, of course, so we could enjoy this episode and continue to walk through some of the plot elements that are going to come up in this game. There we go, riding around on our train, just having ourselves a good old time. These guys are kind of bummed that we're leaving. And there we go, Sora's looking down at the pouch. He's having some moments here, you know. Pulls out the little blue gem. And of course, because part of Roxas is inside of him, he's definitely going to hold it up and look into it. You know, he has that element in him. And Sora's like, you know,
I'm sad.
He's sad. Sora's sad.
We'll be back.
They're like, we'll be back. We can visit these guys again, no worry. And that cheers Sora up a little bit. But now we go into hyperspace, like we're on the Millennium Falcon here. Because that's how Mickey Mouse's train works, apparently.
Guess that's that.
Let's go.
Where?
And yeah, now it's sort of like, yeah, all these people don't have homes to go to.
We don't exist, remember?
Yes, it's true.
It's like, that's true. We may not have homes.
But there is some place I want to go.
But there is some place that Naminé wants to go to.
I want to see.
Someone she wants to see. She wants to see Roxas again, looking by the picture here. And so does an Axel.
You think you might let us go? I know you're here to get rid of us, but...
And yeah, Ansem's here to get rid of these two, but
Wants to get rid of me.
she's like, Diz wants to get rid of me? He's like,
Sure
go.
about this?
He's gonna give them another chance.
For what?
But they did sort of really help. Yeah, they helped in Castle Oblivion, which we'll get into once we go over the Game Boy game, of course. But they also really helped in this series, like driving Roxas back to Sora. Like, it wouldn't have been done without these two's help. So I do appreciate Ansem from whatever angle he's approaching this, letting these two go. But it does also kind of seem malicious. I don't feel like Ansem's Seeker of Darkness would do this for his own good, unless like there's some catastrophic event that's going to happen here if he doesn't do it. But I guess we will find out more as we know more. And here is a big old tower that looks like it belongs to a wizard. So we're all gonna stroll up through here. I think we have a little bit of exploration we can do prior to going into the tower itself. Oh, guess our ride's gone. Yeah, this is really we're gonna sort of start to get a really good perspective on how this game is gonna run on the capture card in this episode. Because this is like the first time we actually have like a grandiose kind of area that we could explore. Not that this area is all that huge, but it's big in comparison to a lot of the areas we've been. So, you know, we'll get a good insight as to like how the graphics look on your guys' end watching these videos. When I go to capture them, they always come out perfect. But I've had problems with it in the past. I would say the only game that's given me like a huge problem is if you watch my like what are my thoughts on the new Call of Duty. That's the only game I've played on the channel that like graphically could not keep up with everything, and I was really scared that this game was going to fall in that category, but it looks like it's holding up at the time being. I know in the near future we are scheduled to play Halo Combat Evolved, so I think that'll be the only other area where I kind of have some concerns as to how is that going to look, how is it going to operate, but I think we'll be able to move past it based off of what I'm seeing on this Let's Play, because this graphically should be about the same as Halo Combat Evolved, just more stuff going on at once. So, but here we go. He's like, ho, ho, ho. I sent some of my lackeys inside to see if the master of this here tower is as big and tough as they say. He's a real powerful sorcerer. Perfect bodyguard for this guy. Oh boy, this guy's causing problems with the Heartless.
They're those things that come out of the darkness in folks' hearts. Why, when all those Heartless headers
Who could it be? I mean, I obviously know. I'm sure you all know too. But he mentions Maleficent there. Everybody's looking at each other like, Maleficent? What are you talking about, buddy? We killed her. She's gone.
Go on, Scram. I'm behind schedule as it is.
You ought to find something nicer to do.
And yeah, it's like you should find something nicer to do. It's like, yep, it's us, Pete. Of course, that's Pete.
What are you two Nimrods?
If you didn't know that was Pete, I don't know what to tell you.
You know him?
He's like, you know him? He's like, we sure do. Pete's been causing trouble for ages. That's very true.
Banished him to another dimension a long time
Oh my
ago.
god, he banished him to another dimension. Jesus Christ. That was the punishment for Pete? Banishment to another dimension?
Maleficent busted me out. That's
Maleficent busted him out.
Your world. No. All the worlds are gonna be
All the worlds are gonna belong to Pete. Oh boy. Because Maleficent's gonna help him conquer him. They're like, Maleficent? That sucks to be you, man. We killed her.
What are you laughing at? Why, Maleficent's power is so great that...
She's toast.
Yeah, she's done, man.
Sorry, but Maleficent can't help you now.
What do you mean?
She turned into a dragon,
You're the ones that did.
and we beat the shit out of her.
We might have had something.
Sorry to lay that on you, Pete, but that's what happened. She turned into a dragon. She was a difficult boss battle in the last game, but nothing compared to Ansem Seeker of Darkness, who we also defeated, so you are out of luck, my guy. Looks like you're gonna have to rethink things. But here we go, we're battling some Heartless, as always. Let's battle these guys.
You just wait. Nobody, and I do mean nobody,
But there we go, we have defeated all of them. Yeah, no big deal.
So mighty.
Pete's got nothing on us at this point in
Who lives
time.
this tower anyway?
Oh, you don't know, eh? Well, it's old Yen Sid. Of course, he's probably a Heartless by now.
And yes, this is Master Yen Sid's tower, which gets everybody excited because we can go and visit Master Yen Sid. Which, if you didn't know, I'm sure a lot of you did, but if you haven't played this game before, a fun fact, Yen Sid, who is going to turn out to be a sorcerer or ancient keyblade wielder, something along those lines. Yen Sid is actually Disney spelled backwards. So this is sort of his creation, I guess Disney's sort of overall creation into the Kingdom Hearts world. And I do have the dog here today. She's breathing pretty heavily close to the mic, so I don't know if you can hear her or not, but she is enjoying the video, and she's asking that everybody out there leaves a like on the video. Isn't that right, puppy? Yes, she recommends it. She recommends it. No, she just got a grooming today, and she's been needy since then, so she is joining us here on today's video, sort of pretending like she's a lap dog, even though she probably weighs a good 70 pounds now. Yeah. But here we go. We're going to have to encounter a bunch of rooms with Heartless in them. Which is... I mean, it's going to be fun for, like, EXP growth and things like that. It's good to get, like, some extra EXP in these sorts of areas where, you know, even if you can take a lot of damage, it's not going to be substantial. So that's always nice. And Sora moves at about the same rate as Roxas at this point. He does feel a little bit smoother to control. I know that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they're pretty one-for-one matchups, but just his speed in general feels a little bit better. And as I've said in previous episodes, all the characters in Kingdom Hearts 2 have a very floaty feel to them. But not in like the stereotypical way where it's like, wow, these characters feel really floaty and whatever. It makes them feel more smooth for whatever reason. A loud-ass motorcycle, that's great. Now, it makes them feel like more smooth for whatever reason. I don't quite know how to put it other than floaty, and I know that term's usually used in a negative sense, but the floatiness is good here. Because the world is so big, it feels like we should be able to, like, traverse it in a big way. And I feel like the floatiness nature of these characters really gives us that overall ability to do that. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's such like a confusing way to explain it, but it's also like so true, at least in my mind. And I do like how you can see the commands there. Like now they switched to like a little Disney hat, so they do. It does change from world to world over there in the bottom left as to how those appear and like sort of some of the effects on them and whatnot. It is a lot of fun. It's just another attention to detail thing that this game like does tremendously well that other games don't do, that I have a lot of fun with. But there we go, we beat our second round. I guess third if you count the outside crew. Donald's like, things haven't changed one bit. It's like, well, it really felt like they should have. Yeah, the worlds aren't in peace after all. We sort of defeated Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, at least up until this game. Showed us that we didn't, but I kind of thought we did, and once we did, that would be the end of the Heartless. That was the impression that I was under. I guess I was wrong, but that kind of seemed like the whole point of the last game, is to put all the worlds at peace. I guess that wasn't. Oh, my strength and defense both increased there with that kill. So that's a good level up. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning. But here we go. Here is Master Yen Sid himself.
Hey there.
Sitting in his chair, doing his stuff. Like I said, man, the puppy's really wanting to be part of this Let's Play tonight. She is getting close to that mic and just letting it have it. She's having a good time today.
Yes, the king has been quite busy. Therefore,
But now, yeah, Master Yen Sid is about to just dump a bunch of information on us. That's the best way I can put it. It's really... It's gonna be a lot to unpack here
journey ahead of you.
in only a few minutes of time, so hopefully you can all appreciate it. This is going to be the longer episode of this week as far as Kingdom Hearts goes. We will definitely have a shorter episode coming out on Friday, but the start to this is pretty long.
Everything in your journey, Sora, is connected. Whether you will find your way.
That's just how it goes sometimes, you know. Like, it stinks that, like, we spent all that time with Roxas, and through that we got, like, a little bit of Roxas' story, but we didn't get, like, any sort of details on, like, what's going on in the world, and they just saved it for, like, this part of the game, but I guess it is what it is.
The key?
Sora's the key. That's why you wield the Keyblade, my man. Doesn't that kind of make sense to you? Yeah.
Chosen wielder of the Keyblade.
Chosen wielder of the Keyblade. Which all of this, I hate to tell you folks, all of this is not going to make a whole lot of sense come the next game. They sort of lose some of the logic regarding the Keyblade stuff, so I guess some of it's true, and I'll elaborate once we get to the next game, and I can actually sort of take the time to fully explain why I think a lot of this logic is defeated in later games, and they just sort of were like, oh shit, and wrote themselves into a creative corner, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. As someone who writes a lot of stuff myself, I can kind of see those flaws, but maybe it's not as apparent to everybody else, so I don't want to like open the floodgates on like lore in other games, but I'm gonna just briefly go through each of these. I just sort of want to see what they say at this point in time. I'm not gonna read them or narrate over them. There's not a whole lot of value to any of this as far as I'm concerned. It just sort of gives some background context, I guess, and can be interpreted in a number of ways. To me, it's not all that eventful. I guess it sort of describes the different realms. I don't know. I don't even want to like get into the detail here. This is sort of like things like this in video games. I sort of take a stance off of. Normally I don't even include them in the game if they're not plot relevant, but these ones feel slightly, everything in Kingdom Hearts feels slightly plot relevant. Blah. But yeah, I normally wouldn't even include these things, but I just feel like for this Let's Play it's important. There's a lot of stuff in Kingdom Hearts 2 and in Kingdom Hearts 1, that's why like we didn't cut like tons of stuff out unless it was exploration related, that like the plots in these games really do have like a lasting impact. And you can see, yeah, we're 3 hours and 17 minutes in, so I did cut good chunks of fat out for everybody out there watching the videos, but I'm sure as the game goes on, that is
But wait a sec. How come the
it's gonna become even wider, like that gap. I'm sure, yeah, as we approach the end of the game, that's gonna approach like the 30-40 hour mark, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe a little bit longer, maybe close to 50 hours to beat the game. But a lot of that is gonna be grindy, just beating Heartless because I want to, that sort of deal. Maybe even some of the bonuses. This is a game I'm like really in love with when it comes to like anything we're gonna play on the channel. So if there was a game where you would want to see me 100% or get all the bonuses or explore the Cave of Wonders, hint hint for those that have played the game, this is definitely the game to recommend me to like do something like that, because I have no problem doing it and can invest large chunks of time in this game without feeling like there's a lot going on. But there's a hologram of Donald, I guess. Oh, and it turned into a Heartless.
One such as you, Donald, yields to the darkness in their heart. They too will become a
They too will become a Heartless. Oh, okay.
You know this.
Yes, we're well aware of that fact.
The Heartless are always lurking and ever seeking to capture new hearts.
Yep.
Never let your guard
We got it,
down.
Yensid. I'll never let my guard down. I opened Kingdom Hearts last time. Remember that?
At times, if someone with a strong heart
If someone with a strong heart and will,
or good becomes a heartless,
be they evil or good, becomes a Heartless, the empty shell they left behind.
to act with a will of its own.
You don't need to speak in this tongue, my good man. The empty shell they left behind will become a nobody, an empty vessel whose heart is stolen away. A spirit that goes on.
Fades from existence. For you see, nobodies do not truly exist at all.
Because nobodies don't really exist. Okay.
Nobodies may seem to have
I
feelings, but this is a ruse.
kind of sum that up for you. And the stronger of the nobodies get to keep their original form. And most of the time end up creating organizational members.
Now then, the being you see.
It's hard to say that they don't exist when they can inflict damage on me, though.
They are the most common form.
Like,
of nobody.
this is the point in this game where, like, and it's sad that it's, like, only 5 episodes in.
Some with frightening
The game is trying to explain itself
vigilant.
and trying to write itself out of this corner, but at the same point in time, it's doing it. I would say Kingdom Hearts 2 does a really good job of, like, you know, you could take all this, like Obi-Wan Kenobi says, from his point of view. You could sort of, you know, they're empty vessels. Okay, I could get around that. But here we go. Before I get into my long tyrant here.
The beings you see before you now.
So these ones are different.
These powerful nobodies have formed a group called Organization.
These powerful
13.
nobodies here formed a group called Organization 13. They're stronger than regular nobodies. We're not familiar with them
Heartless act
because they erased their memory.
Nobodies function in a higher manner. They can think and plan, and it seems they are working towards.
They're working towards a goal. Got it.
That goal is.
What organization wouldn't be? But okay, now I feel like it's safe for me to go on my tyrant here a little bit.
And journeyed forth to fight it. He found the dark realm.
So yeah, it's they don't exist, but they do exist, and they can cause damage. So I would justify that as they exist and they're real things. The game sort of backs its way into a corner in some of its explanations, but I will say, as far as Kingdom Hearts 2 goes, I am willing to overlook a lot of it. Because the gameplay and storytelling elements, as you'll see as we play throughout the series, are amazing. And I'm sure somebody out there will comment, Average Joe, they didn't back their way into a corner, they explained it with X, Y, and Z, and this, and this. That's fine. Like I said, at this point, it does not harm the game. It doesn't harm the story. It doesn't harm anything in my mind. It's when we start making leaps and bounds past this game where you will see I start to have problems. In the Game Boy game, not so much. 386 over 2 days or over 5. I forget. It's over 2, but I forget if it's 386 or 385 over 2. That game, I don't have any problems with either. Once we go past that point, I start to have major problems with how the story is laid out. And to be fair, I could still really enjoy it, but not as much as I enjoy Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, Kingdom Hearts 2 hits the nail on the head, and there's just enough of leeway in the story that I feel like it's up to me to interpret, whereas future entries, as you will see, directly throw the story in your face. No room for interpretation. That's 100% what's going on, and it's not the direction I would have taken the game, but I digress. We'll cross those points when we get to it. I would call this a mini rant. If I was talented enough with, like, YouTube stuff, I would throw, like, mini rant in big bright letters across the screen with, like, a kind of noise. Just to get that full point across, but it's alright. We'll live with it. Let's talk to all these fairies here. Let's change our clothes. Let's get some fitting clothes. That's important. Don't want to be battling nobodies and heartless with these embarrassing running shorts on, my ladies. She's like, I'll do the designing. These guys are going to do the functionality. Oh yeah, just carry me on over there. Okay, so first design is green. The second design is blue. Red. Change me back to green. All these look terrible. Yeah, they're gonna fight over this for a little while. I guess this is kind of funny. Oh shit, there goes a crow.
Would you just decide?
That sort of stuns them that I spoke back to them, so I think they're gonna all at once, yeah. Let's see Sora's new gig. Let's see it. Mwah. Perfect. That is perfect. That looks snazzy. It looks great. It fits him. Everything about it looks good. Good job.
Now those aren't ordinary garments. They have very special powers.
My clothes have special powers.
Take the orb, dear.
And I think I get the form here.
Watch what happens.
So I activate that. Yep, and I'm able to use a new form. Where I can dual wield Keyblades.
Two Keyblades.
This journey's going to be twice as difficult as your last.
And I get some special abilities with each form, of course. The game's not going to go into great detail to explain that, I don't feel like right now, but...
But you'll have to discover what they are as you continue on your journey.
We will work on these forms. We'll definitely get final form in this game.
And there's something else.
For those of you that know what that means, you know I'll have to spend a substantial amount of time playing as the forms, but that shouldn't be a problem as we battle through a lot of Heartless. And I got the Star Seeker, which just expands our magic combo by 1. I look at like changing into the Star Seeker because I always like the most relevant Keyblade to be my Keyblade. Up until we get to like halfway through the game, and then I like the powerful ones. The ones that actually hold substantial value to myself to be what I use. But you can see there, the drive is now there. It's at the max of 3 right now. So that's actually what's going to drive our forms. So we can use a drive as long as that is maxed out. Or at a high enough level that we can use it. I do think it sacrifices one of our team members. It maybe even sacrifices both of our team members when we go to use it. But I do have to say, the drives are interesting. You can see here, I try to switch to that Keyblade. That's okay. Maybe we could switch to that a little bit later. We don't really have a need for magic to really be like our #1 priority at this point in the game. So maybe we could look at that further, but I do know we'll get a new Keyblade pretty soon here. Not in the next world, but maybe the world after that. So I'm not too concerned. Here we go into here and we drop something. Yeah, I saw that too, Goofy. At this point, I honestly don't even remember what we're recording here. Oh, it's a little crown. But at this point, yeah, I recorded this a few days ago. I was pretty tired. Once it got to this point, I was just kind of clicking A, getting through it, doing what we needed to do. But then Jiminy comes out. And he's making a note of these in his journal. So that's good. I guess let's go back out the door. There's Yen Sid. And here we go away on our gummy ship.
It's the gummy ship.
Oh, we're just seeing it for the first time. Are Chip and Dale in there?
So you guys ready to go?
Like, you guys ready to go?
Now, just a moment.
Now, just a moment. Is he gonna address him as Sora, Donald, and Goofy?
Because of your
Come on.
previous endeavors,
The worlds have returned to their original states. Okay.
That means the pathways between
That means the pathways between them have disappeared.
How do we get around?
How do we get around?
Do not fear. If what the king
There's always a way.
proves true, the worlds have prepared new pathways.
There's new pathways that we could travel. And I do have to say the new pathways are pretty neat. We won't get to see them in this episode, but we'll get to see them in the next episode. I think I'll show them moving forward, but
These gates are opened.
I don't want to rely on that too heavily. And I'm trying to really stick to, like, if you watch my Kingdom Hearts 1 episode, these beginning worlds, the first two are going to be kind of split half and half. But I'm trying to stick to one episode per world with all the highlights of each world in there. And then, if you're not familiar with Kingdom Hearts 2 at all, a lot of these worlds have revisits, so you have to go back and find out some new elements to the worlds. Which is why this game feels so long, is because, like, the campaign is essentially doubled the previous game. So, what I'll likely do is one episode per world with all the highlights of that in each episode, 3 days a week, until we reach a point where, like, 40 minutes doesn't cover a world. Then we'll be looking at splitting worlds in half and doing, like, 2 30-minute episodes or something like that, maybe 2 25s. We'll try and come up with a good system to do that, but
Now then, that is all the information
sometimes it's a little bit difficult. We'll do our best, but I do think we'll be able... Sora, Donald, and Goofy, there it is for the first time. I love that. So this is like a rule. I think I laid this out in the previous episode, but anytime these three are going to be on screen, they're going to be addressed as Sora, Donald, Goofy. There is no other order that they will be introduced in. Anytime anybody sees them that recognizes them, it will be Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Always that order, always with all three, nothing more, nothing less. But here we go. Oh my goodness, there's a crow. And it's bringing in a coat here for the fairies. And what do we got going on? That for sure looks like Maleficent's coat.
Haven't we seen this somewhere before?
Haven't we seen that somewhere before? Yes, dear. I wonder whose it was.
Maleficent.
Oh, Malefa.
No.
She almost says it.
Remember her name.
We must not remember her name. Oh dear.
She was a mean old witch.
She was a mean old witch.
The memories are
Oh
coming
no, the
back.
memories are coming
What
back.
do we do?
Oh, what do we do?
What do we do?
Go tell Master Yen Sid. Somebody go. This thing is animating itself. Somebody go and tell him. This is not good.
Perhaps we should tell Master Yen Sid.
Yes.
That's what we must do. Hurry.
Why did the blue fairy stay here?
Maleficent.
Oh, she said her name and now she disappeared. Maleficent is back. Why? How? I really hope we find out. Because that's a pretty big plot hole.
Howdy, Sora. It's your favorite Billy engineers here, ready for duty. And fail. Happy flying.
Only one?
That's no wonder.
Wait, I think it's a world we know.
Here we go. This is the only path that looks clear for us. Let's go straight into Hollow Bastion. And here we get a flashback to Pete.
Maleficent! Maleficent!
He's looking for Maleficent.
Maybe they really did finish her off. This castle sure ain't what I expected. No shine, no nothing.
Oh, here comes the bird. The old crow is gonna come in here. The crow has landed.
It's Hollow Bastion.
Gosh, looks kind of different now. Uh-oh, looks like we're gonna have to do some
But
fighting.
here we go. Yes, we have landed, and it looks like a lot of things have changed. So here we are back in Hollow Bastion. If you remember, this is where things really went down in the last Let's Play. This is where things hit the fan. There's a lot of crowns and things like that. I think at this point I was just looking for a save point. You know, I'm trying to explore the land as much as possible, but I kind of just want to save. Okay, yep. Let's get to a save point. Let's talk to Scrooge, though. Scrooge does actually have some good, knowledgeable things to talk about here. And it's Donald's uncle. Hello, Scrooge. You and I have a lot in common, good sir. Nah, he's trying to recreate his old-time favorite ice cream. He'll make millions. Oh, that's the thought logic I love from you, Scrooge. But that's all I need to see from Scrooge. Let's go into the downtown section. It looks like they're doing a good chunk to build this place back up. Looks like it's in pretty beefy standards. Oh shit, what is this shit? That's the town's defense mechanism. Is that Yuffie? It is. Oh, there's a nobody. Okay, let's defeat some of these guys. Let's get them out of the way. There wasn't a save point in the previous area that I could see, so that's why this world is being split up into two places, if I'm gonna be honest. There we go, chop some of these guys out of the way. These guys, honestly, they're not that bad to deal with as Sora. I feel like they were a lot harder with Roxas. Like, I feel like we just struggled a little bit more.
Hey, you guys.
But with Sora, it feels like a cakewalk.
I see
But
you're
here.
still in top form.
Yeah, we're still doing good,
What'd you
Yuffie.
expect? Looks like you're doing okay.
Well, what did you expect?
How are the others? How's everybody else doing? She's like, great.
Have you seen the king and Riku?
Have you seen the king or Riku? She's like, no. I'm like, ah, shit.
But I
That's
had a
no good.
feeling I'd see you
That's
guys
not
again.
good. But she knew she'd see us again.
We
And that
may
brings a
never
smile
meet
to Sora's
again,
face.
But we'll never forget each other.
Is that supposed
And he's
to be
quoting
Leon?
some stuff that Leon had said in the past. Which is actually
Everybody's
genuinely
working on
funny.
stuff over at
That is
Merlin's house.
genuinely funny.
Come on.
So everybody's meeting at Merlin's house. Let's go over to Merlin's. Let's go see everybody. Let's see the gang. It's been a while. I thought Merlin's house was right there, but apparently it's not. Come on. I'm gonna just ignore these guys for right now because we're just looking for a save point so that way we can continue the story. Let's open this real quick. And that's it. Doesn't send us into a whole animation, which is really nice. We can do it in the middle of a battle. We can open chests and stuff.
Meet the Hollow Bastion Restoration.
Meet the Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee.
We missed you.
Well, if you ain't in top shape. I knew it.
Knew what?
A while back, everyone suddenly remembered you guys, all at the same time.
Yeah, somebody started remembering us a while back.
You remembered? Wait.
Like, you
does that
remembered?
mean you forgot about
That means you
us?
forgot about us. What are you talking about? But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here, we are just going to look for a save point and sort of go over some of the
Cold storage?
old story here. So if you like this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is free for you to do on your end and greatly motivates myself to continue to make videos just like this. And in the near future, we will be playing Kingdom Hearts 2 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of this month and the next month. which is May of 2023. And we'll also be playing Pokemon Soul Silver on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and every other week we'll be doing Saturdays as well, once again for this month and next month, which is May and June of 2023. Yeah, those are the big Let's Plays going on, so if you look forward to seeing any of those Let's Plays, hey, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and you will get to see all of that good stuff. If you made it this far in the video, in the comment section below, drop down stale banana, so that way I know you made it this far in the video, because who would comment stale banana? But yeah, I guess that's about it. You're going to get about 2 minutes and change of some gameplay without my voiceover on it to end this Let's Play, so hopefully you enjoyed that. I hope you all had a snazzy start to your week, because this is the middle of the week here, and continue to have an even snazzier ending of your week. Until next time, everybody take it easy, and we will see you all here on the next one. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Take it easy.
Oh, I thought it was you. Right on time.
It's Brian!
Sora and the gang said they're gonna help out.
Splendid. We'll count on you.
Right.
Right. Ah, yes. Did you give them the cards, dear?
Oh. Here. They're presents for you. Leon thought you might like to have them.
Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee honorary member.
Membership cards!
Kinda cool, huh?
Hey, thanks, Leon. Huh? Oh no, we're supposed to be at the Bailey.